All right, so welcome to the first lesson. And the idea here is, okay, yeah, you're dealt your cards, you look at it, and you're trying to figure out how good is my hand. And so our approach is going to be counting points. This is the way everybody assesses their hand in bridge. And so it's the first thing you have to learn. The basic idea here is we're trying to figure out how good is our hand. What's fun about bridge is that it's you have to think. There's a lot of subtlety, and the short answer is it depends. It depends on lots of things. It depends on what's trump, whether there is trump, and what your partner's hand looks like. But there are three things that basically are always helpful. And so the first one's definitely always helpful, and that's high cards. Like it's always good to have an ace. Um, Second is there's having a lot of one suit can be very, very helpful. But here's the first area where it depends, right? So if you have a lot of one suit, you're able to call trump on that, then obviously that helps because you have lots of trump. But it also helps if there's no trump. Because then if you have lots of a suit, then you can make the opponents run out, and then even your small cards become winners. It's not always helpful, though. If Trump is called and it's not that suit and you guys don't have Trump, then having a lot of suits is really bad because it just means they're going to trump the cards you have in that suit. So even if you have very good cards like aces and kings, they likely won't be winners because they'll be trumped. And so the last one, but still mainly having a lot of one suit is a good thing. And having a few of one suit can be extremely good, and it's extremely good if you call trump. It's extremely bad if either you're not calling trump or if it's in no trump. So the last one is the sort of the highest variance. You have to sort of assess as it goes along whether or not it's good that you have none in the suit or whether that's actually a bad thing. But the first one, high cards, that's always a good thing, and so that's what we're going to start with. So here's the bridge method for accounting high card points. So they're often called HCPs, but it's just high card points. So these are the face cards plus the ace. We'll call these honors. And it's very simple. An ace counts for 4 points. A king counts for 3 points. A queen counts for 2, and a jack counts for 1. That's it. So you look at your hand and you just add up your points. In the beginning, it's a little bit slow going, a little tedious, but then it sort of starts to become automatic as you do more and more. But that's our first initial way of assessing how good our hand is. I mean, roughly speaking, there's 40 points out there. Well, there's exactly 40 points out there. And roughly speaking, if you have 10 points, you have an average hand. If you have less than 10, your hand's not very good. And if you have more than 10 points, then you're above average. And so if you have something like 15 or 16 points, you have a very good hand. All right, so we look at it. You get a hand that looks something like this. And so here, pause the video and just count how many points there are. So we just have to identify where our honors are. So here we've got an ace, that's worth 4. We've got a king, that's worth 3. We've got another king, that's worth 3. Nothing here. And then we have a 3 and a 1 there. And so how many points do we have? Well, we've got 7 plus 3 plus 4. We've got 14 points. Right? That's it. So this hand has 14 points. It's a pretty good hand. Okay, so here's another hand. How many high card points do we have here? Okay, well, we have the ace is worth 4. Jack is worth 1. We've got a queen that's worth 2. Another queen that's worth 2. Okay, we've got 9 high card points. So, I mean, it's not a great hand, but it's basically average. All right. Okay, so here's another hand. How many points do we have here? And so we just do the same thing. Jack is worth 1. Queen's worth 2. King and the queen together are 5, plus a jack is 6. Queen's another 2. So we've got 11 points. So basically it's about average for a hand. And that's it. That's our first lesson. So as we go through what's the first bids and the things like this, you're going to have to use the high card points. But it's just a matter, I mean, it's no more complicated than that.